After recording 2 macro analysis videos, we can, as I promised you yesterday, we can come back to making a short-term price updates. The last short-term price updates we made was 3 days ago on October the 7th. And this video was titled, Alerts, Crypto Will Dump More Before Pumping. In this video, we shared the Bitcoin charts, which looked at the MRI tops and the levels that we needed to break above before we can see a continuation. So this is that chart today. We mentioned that the fact that we got this MRI top at these highs is a dangerous sign. Every single time this happens for Bitcoin, where you have these sort of tops, there's an MRI on the second one, you will see a 1 to 4 candle correction, because not only did we have this point of reference, but we also had the point of reference from the prior consolidation phase between Jan to sort of Feb this year, where we had a second MRI top. Well, the MRI top happened in the second high, and then you had resistance from the prior high, and that led to a correction to the downside. So we said that because this is the case, I'm expecting a 1 to 4 candle correction. We're currently on the 1, 2, 3, 4th candle. We came down to our targets, initial target of 19,750. That was right here. We're now below it. So now, because that's the case, I wanted to give you a new update with new predictions on what can happen for the price of Bitcoin and obviously for the price of Ethereum, which looks a little bit brutal. So on that specific video, we made a chart that consisted of the RSI bearish divergence. So the RSI bearish divergence on Ethereum, there it is, had the targets at $4,365. This was what we predicted when Ethereum was at 4.5, and when Ethereum was at 4.6, we also made the prediction over on the Moonshow live streams. The initial price to expect was 4.3K. In the past 4 hours, I was live streaming, so Ethereum had a bit of a vigorous drop of 5.5%. So we went below our initial target of 4.365. So I wanted to give you a second update on where I think the levels of which Ethereum can correct to are. All right, let's start off with Bitcoin. But before we continue on, if you can destroy the like button and subscribe to become a crypto kid, that would obviously be very much expected. The macro view is so bullish. I want to emphasize that the macro view for Bitcoin, which I'll touch into a little bit on this video, is massively bullish, but I would urge you to watch the prior 2 videos if you're interested on the macro updates. But this is a short-term price update. So in the short term, we are a little bit bearish, but on the great scheme of things, I think the upcoming few months will be fantastic. And that's why I'm buying the dip. So for Bitcoin, there are two things. One of them is the Fibonacci level. The Fibonacci level shows that the 0.382, which is at $19,000 exactly, that's a great line of supports. Tomorrow is Saturday. There's usually barely any volatility happening on Saturday. So until Monday, I expect this $19,000 level for Bitcoin to hold. That's given by the Fibonacci. And if we look at the volume profile, another great tool for analysis. Let's see the volume profile. There it is, the fixed range volume profile. We'll go from the high of the 14th of July and we'll go to the current price action. You can see that most amount of volume is happening, the most amount of demand is happening at $18,200, which we're about $600 away from. So the $19,000 level to the 18.2, this range, this price range right there, I think is going to be the range that Bitcoin is going to try and find support from over the weekend. That's the 2 sort of price levels. And in between there, I think we're going to try and see some sort of a consolidation. And then going into Monday, we will give the decision of if we want to see a rebound or make our way all the way to the CME gap. You heard me, guys. If we lose this 18.2, which marks not only the most demand within this range, but also the mid-level of this price consolidation that's been taking place since the beginning of summer. If we lose that 18.2, then I personally think we will head to the closure of the CME gap that I highlighted in these videos. I wouldn't be scared of it happening. I think it's still a probable outcome that we come down to the CME gap. So many people deny it. So many people denied it of its existence. They said that, oh, we'll close it in the next cycle, or we'll go into the bear market and then we close it. No, I said it takes up to 25 to 30 days for these to happen, and we can still do it. But even if we do close it, I wouldn't be concerned. That's also what I stated. So if we lose that 18.2, then unfortunately $11,000 is I think where we will head towards, which is the CME gap closure. And in preparation, I opened a new Bitcoin buying bot on Pinex, which I will link below the Pinex link in the description. So instead of AVAX bot, you're going to see Bitcoin bot. What this bot will do, in essence, will buy the dip for me, right? The parameters are simple. The lower limit is 107,500 because you just want to keep, with these bots, you want to keep the, the range more sort of wider than what you want. So I put these lows. I took this low for reference, the 107.5, but really I want to be buying the dip until the CME gap, which is at $11,000. So on Pinex, the spot is going to buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, and then hopefully we see the rebound, which is what we're expecting, and then all the way to 150K for now. That could change. We can adjust that later on. It's going to sell. That's the bot. That's what I'm doing to take advantage of a potential further correction. And this bot, I'm going to share right below the Pinex link. So if you want to be trading it, you can just click copy and that will be it. So you can adjust your parameters later on if you wish to do so. But that's the bot that I'm using for Bitcoin to take advantage of the current price action. In a nutshell, that is Bitcoin. Nothing much more to add. Okay? With regards to Ethereum, Ethereum saw a more vigorous drop than Bitcoin. Because that happened, the Bitcoin dominance actually experienced a move towards the upside, almost hitting 60%. I'm very happy that this is the case. Most people think this is bearish, but oh no. Every single time we see a recovery on the Bitcoin dominance, approximately in the part of the cycle that we are currently, whenever you see this recovery, it is followed by a very, very sharp downturn. Very, very sharp downturn, which leads into altcoin season. So in the short term, yes, it may feel like the world is ending. I know that's the feeling you have. But in truth, I think this is just a fantastic buying opportunity. On the crypto alert, prices will drop before pumping video, I highlighted that Ethereum is going to see a drop. Okay, it dropped below the first target that we had. So I'm making this update to give you the next targets. The next targets are, well, first of all, we came down to 4,100, which is a very, very good level. Very good level. Okay, so we should try to find some support, just like the Bitcoin 18.2 to the 18.9, $19,000 range. This should be a level that Ethereum is going to try and find support from during the weekend. If this fails, then worst case, I would be expecting 3.8, because not only is that good support from this prior price action from the 26th of September, and also the final week of July, you have the bull flag. The bull flag supports on Ethereum at exactly that price level to around that price level. I love this bull flag. I think this bull flag is going to see a humongous break to the upside. Referencing the macro on the weekly time frame, we need to look at the bull and bear market support so we can get rid of all of those short-term charts that are not so important. I'm just buying the dip on Ethereum. You guys saw over on weeks. That's what I'm doing. If we put on the bull and bear market support band, you will notice that in the prior cycle, we come down to the bull and bear market support band right here around the September-October months. Bull and bear market support band. The support that we spoke about at 3.8 is also where the bull and bear market support is. So again, another point of very important. It just highlights why 3.8 is so important. You have the price action supports, the bull flag supports, and bull and bear market supports. So there, I think we will see the ultimate bounce, which will start the rally, right? And as soon as we break above the 4.8 area, like I mentioned previously, so for Bitcoin, we need to break above the 124.7 area for new all-time highs. Ethereum, it's going to be the $4,800 level. As soon as we can break above clean with a 1 weekly candle, I think even 1 weekly candle is enough. We don't need to even see 2 weekly candles. As soon as we do that, then I think $8,000 is going to come by fast. So macro is super bullish. It's just short term. I would be careful of those specific price levels. And that's pretty much it for BNB. On that video, we took profits at $1,300 from our position. Good that we did that because now we're at $1,200. The weekly candle doesn't look so strong. I think it does show weakness and we will likely see a bit of a correction. On Solana, we predicted the drop as well. Daily time frame, we mentioned that there is a triple top on the Moonshow live streams. Our target was around the 213 to 12 area. So if I go to the daily time frame, should be visible. So there was a triple top right here. I know it's very tough to see, but maybe 4-hourly time frame will make it more clear. So 4-hourly time frame, triple top, 213 was the target. The new target that I'm giving you guys is the $200 level. Why, you may say that? I say this because of the huge daily trend line that is formed, and that takes you to the $200 level. So Solana, for me, a good bounce level will be the $200. SUI USDT also had a triple top. I would also highlight that Solana macro super bullish, cup and handle pattern, multi-cycle pattern, right? On SUI, we had the same triple top, and it came down to my targets very nicely as well. Very, very nicely. I think we will see a rebound from this level. Worst case scenario though, just like Ethereum, we come down to this bull flag support, which is sitting at 3.04. That's my worst case. I just love how the macro is for SUI, so I'm buying the dip as much as I can. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going to go and buy the dip on these altcoins. Because look, every time you have a bull flag, huge break to the upside, bull flag break up, bull flag break up. Not only you have this bull flag, but you have this huge bullish pennant. And in altcoin season, I think we will see a $5 SUI. Simple as. And one more altcoin I think we spoke about was AVAX. AVAX looks the worst out of the altcoins that I personally like. Obviously, we've been predicting this drop for AVAX very nicely. We highlighted the bear flag, and we highlighted that its target is sitting at $24, and we're slowly making our way towards $24. On Pinex, I have a bot, which is going to be buying until that target and going into the maximum pain point, which I don't think we will see, but it will still buy until $18. I'll leave a link to it in the description as well. But $18 is the support line of this bullish pennant. Worst case, I think we drop there, but overall, in the next 2 months, I think we can make a move to new all-time highs. So with that said, that is the quick breakdown. I know in the short term, it feels like the world is ending and everything is falling apart. Truth is, we expected this. So congrats to everyone that is following up with the daily videos we post here on YouTube. Doesn't matter that this is happening long term, which when I say long term, it's only really a few months. I think we're looking really, really good. So I'm buying this dip, and I showed you the reasons why. So if you appreciate that, destroy the like button for me and subscribe to become a crypto kid. With that said, I'll see you all on the next video tomorrow. Take care, guys, and as always, bye-bye.